I would now like to welcome Dr. Nirmal Kumar, Senior Scientist from NBSS ICAR Nagpur for his expert talk. Dr. Nirmal Kumar has handled more than 50 projects of national importance and has research interest in applications of remote sensing and GIS in natural resource management, soil survey and pedology, land resources characterization and evaluation, land degradation mapping, soil spectroscopy, digital soil mapping, and web GIS. Today, he will be delivering his expert talk on land degradation assessment, use of spatial technology and artificial intelligence. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, all. Hope I am audible and my slides are visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, my topic is that land degradation assessment and how we are using the space technology and artificial intelligence in that. So, it will be covering that land degradation and land degradation neutrality and the various approaches followed for mapping and monitoring the land degradation. So, as we know all, these are the pressing that different aspects are pressing over the land. We are having more than 18% of world domain and 20% of livestock and only 2.4% of world area. And more than 30% of area is degraded. And these are the causes, I think we can, everybody knows this, just deforestation, overgrazing, septic cultivation, over irrigation, climate change and all are affecting our land. These are the common type of land degradation. And see how the climate changes is causing some degradation. You see the dryness and wetness are increasing in different parts of country in the place of moderate climates existing earlier in the region, like increase in semi-arid area in MP, Bihar and UP. Similarly, increase in arid area in Rajasthan and Gujarat. And this is actually our goal to increase that while laying importance on achieving land degradation neutrality. India will increase its target from 21 million hectares to 26 million hectares by 2030. That of 26 million hectares, we will degraded land we will be reclaiming it. This is our target. So how we are using this? For this, first we need to assess and map the degraded land first. So these are the methods actually means how we are going to map. So you can see, we can summarize it. You can find many research papers. You can find many researches done in case of assessing the land degradation. So one is expert opinion. This only uses the GIS. But remote sensing, how we are using, we can identify the degraded land first. We can identify the type and severity, and there is the potential of degradation. So how degraded land is being mapped based on the visual interpretation of remote sensing data or classification or time series analysis. In classification, we are using like general methods, the previous like MLA channel, and then machine learning AI technology like logistic regression, SVM, random forest and others. In potential, basically we are using multi-criteria decision analysis, and these are some methods I have listed. And then there will be remote sensing quantitative values like EC for salt of petrol. We are modeling the EC, SAR, ESP, and soil erosion. And how these remote sensing is helping in assessing the degraded land. First, it gives you synoptic view, time series data, and then high to coarse resolution data is available. Various bands are available. From that, these bands we can identify some indices which are specific to some, like for salinity itself, there are more than 30 indices are there which can identify the saline areas. Similarly, dams are available for dam is very important in modeling for soil erosion. So first we will go with that expert opinion. One is Glashowed method was, this is the first spatial assessment of global degradation land, that Glashowed approach. So you see, first they used 1:10 million scale. NBSS, our institute, was also a part of this for India. So 1:10 million scale first we produced in 1990, and approximately 205 million hectare was identified as a degraded land, and 50 polygons were there. Again, there was SOD, means for Asia region. So here it was a 1:5 million hectare scale, and then the degraded land identified were 245 million hectare and more than 650 polygons. Why I am showing these data is, first you see, we have scale we have reduced, means increased, and degradation degraded area has also increased. Go to here, at India level, we had our 1:250 million scale, 250,000 scale soil map of India. So from that 1:4 million scale, we prepared a map, and it was 187 million hectare. But when we came to 1:1 million scale, that the area decreased 147 million hectare. Now you see the earlier map here, the scale we have increased, and when we are increasing the scale, the area in degraded identified as degraded was increased. Here it was decreased. So why this problem came? This problem is coming because of the subjectivity. Okay, so this is expert opinion. Expert is giving that this polygon is degraded and this type of degradation is there. So one is subjectivity is there. Now come to the definition, other things, like this is the desertification of or land degradation status map of India. This is developed by SAC, Ahmedabad, 2007. So this is 1:50 million scale, 50,000 scale, and the identified area is 105 million scale, a million hectare. And they use the AVIF data. Okay. And similarly, SAC in 2016, they have now giving the 94 million hectare. So this data is data they have used 2003 to 5, and for here also 2003 to 5. So again, this is visual interpretation of satellite images. So that's why again subjectivity comes here, and you can find the differences. Similarly, now this is wasteland. So earlier it was degraded land, desertification. Now it is wasteland. So here you can see the subjectivity is there, and one more thing is the definition of degraded land. So here you can see only 46 million hectare is wasteland. So these maps are also available for state level. See how they're identifying sheet erosion, slight, moderate, means type and severity. So these changes are occurring due to the definition, the tool used, and then the data used, and then subjectivity. So now type of degradation, like wind erosion is there. These maps are available with us in NBSS, so that's why I'm showing. I will be showing only all, means I have discussed, summarized the types and means methods for land degradation assessment, but I will be showing the study only done in NBSS. So this is soil loss map, then acidic soils, salt affected soils, and then other layers. So actually there were many differences due to different method, different institutes, different organizations were doing with different data set, different definitions. So they came together to give this area, actually this map. So now in this was published in 2010. So now this is 120 million hectare degraded land is there. That is the many 4 or 5 institutes, means One is Kajri for arid land, then NRSC, Forest Survey of India. Many organizations came and together and to develop this map. You see that variation. So till now, what we have understood that there are various estimates of land degradation in India. That is because of different definitions they have used, different methods they have used. Okay, and so this caused the subjective and qualitative and hard to reproduce, inconsistent, consuming higher time, labor, and other resources. Okay. So similarly, in case of the global area also, 4 or 5 global database are available, like from expert opinion like Glassot to then proxy indicators like GLADA. So what we need is, we need a correct estimate based on quantitative definition. Okay, and it should also consider the crop productivity and phenology. Okay, and it should, all the methods should be robust enough, objective and quantitative, reproducible, and less time consuming and resource consuming. So the definition now you see, this definition is diminution of soil quality and thereby its current and potential productivity, and or a reduction in its ability to be a multi-purpose resource due to both natural and human energy. So the definition is now that the current definition in land degradation is that it should there is a low productivity. Okay, so that is a degraded land. So based on this method, this definition, they have come with this GLADA approach. There they are using the NDVI as a proxy indicator of biomass production. So if an area is having lower productivity in time, so that is degrading land or degradation is there. So many methods are there, like one is trend analysis, one is local net production scaling, and many methods. So there are differences, problems in these methods also. Like the trend analysis is, if you are taken the NDVI of today, this year and next 5 years, and they are comparing, if the NDVI is decreased, then it is degraded land. So it will, the ongoing degradation will be identified. What about the degradation which has already happened, means in the historic data. So this we have developed come up with one method using this NDVI only. So what we have taken the NDVI of 20 years. Here because of this small screen, only up to 10 years I have shown. So but we have taken 20 years data, and you can see these green lines, these are highly productive area, because you see in the Kharif region it's going up, then it's harvesting, and then again in the Rabi season it is going up and then harvesting. So if this amplitude is very high, so these are all not degraded. But you can see other areas or the permanent layers like water. So the NDVI is permanently very low, so amplitude is very low. All degraded lands are having low amplitude. So if you can identify this low amplitude in time series data, so those will be our degraded land or the permanent layer like water or settle. So by this method, so the concept is the continuously low productivity is a degraded land. So how we have done this? We identified, we have taken every 16 days composite of MODIS 250 meter and for 20 years, and then pre-processed it to remove the cloud effect. Okay, and then identify the high amplitudes area and low amplitude area. Pardon. So high amplitude and sorry. So you can see this green area is low amplitude, and the red area is high amplitude. So higher amplitude area is non-degraded, and all this greener area are lower amplitude. So those are degraded land or permanent area. So now, this is 250 meter resolution. So making it to higher resolution, we have taken the Landsat data or Sentinel data you can take. So Landsat data we have taken, and that contextual information we can increase. So now you can see these all object-based segmentation we can do, and we can merge it to identify these are all the green areas are degraded area. And from that, the permanent area layer, if you are having, we can mask the permanent area. So you will have all the degraded land. From this degraded land, the type may be identified by using various other data set like DEM. Okay, like if you are see in these areas, the gray areas, there are that DEM will be very rugged. Means these are ravinous area. This is a Kanpur district, so these are all ravinous area. And when you see, we are using that this groundwater depth. So if groundwater depth and canal network. So if groundwater depth and canal network is very high, so these are area will be salt affected area. We can use other reports also to identify this, and then we can validate it to identify the type and severity. So you can see the some window areas. So this area was identified as degraded, means continuously low productivity area, means continuously low NDVI area. And you can see in the Landsat image and in the Google Earth also. So all these areas, salt affected area identified. Similarly, here also, one window you can take and you see all the salt affected area has been identified, and there are very prominently you can see hot spots of degraded lands. Similarly, in case of this ravinous area, you can see in the Landsat and Google Earth, these are all ravinous area. And these are some validation ground truthing. So we validated it with the NRSC data that is based on the visual interpretation of 3 season list 3 data. And we have identified the common areas, and some areas they have identified as NRSC. Only NRSC is telling that these are degraded area, and some new area we have identified as degraded. So why this area is coming, this only NRSC? See, in the visual interpretation, it is subjective. So some parts, maybe it is a village, small village, but it in list 3, it's showing as some brighter area. So they have identified as a degraded land. So this type of problem comes in the subjective methods. So these methods have been validated with other area also for consistency. You can see you see here one prominent thing is that if you see this yellow area here, so NRSC is telling that these are degraded area because they are identifying it as a acidic soil. But in our definition, if there is a land is productive, so this is not a degraded land. So all the acidic, if you are taking that this definition of acidic, so all the northeast area will be identified as a degraded land because of acidic soils. But there is a very much productive area like tea growing or rubber growing area. So if they are very much productive, in our definition, it will not come as a degraded land. So one advantage is that also. Similarly, you can see this area is a wetlands. So this is of 24 Pargana, not 24 Pargana. You can see all these wetlands have been identified very prominently in this. Similarly, in the East Mednipur, you can see and see a flood affected area of Araria district and Bahraj district. You can see these all areas very frequently flood affected and so identified as a degraded land. In Jhum cultivation of Nagaland, you can see all these areas have been identified as a degraded lands. Some window areas you can see. And then Punjab and Haryana, all salt affected soils, and many other soils also, like dune and brickland area is also there. And this is also related in desert area. You can see all dunes area, dunal area are all degraded lands. And these are our means canal network is there, so highly productive area is there. So these are not identified as a degraded land. Similarly, in the case of Hanumangarh district, you can see all these are very high dunes are there. So these are not these are degraded, and there is canal there, and this area is very productive. So this is not under degraded land. Similarly, in Jaisalmer, you see Indira Gandhi Canal comes here. So this area is not degraded, but other are all degraded lands. So this method we have identified, we have developed, and has been actually how to hide this. So this other methods we are showing how we are using this machine learning techniques. So this one is published research of identifying salt affected soil with logistic regression method. So this many indices we have used, and many other data also used. These are some indices. Other data of NDVI, means summer NDVI, winter NDVI, then Kharif NDVI. This type of data we have used, long-term data, and we have identified this. So finally, this one is all degraded land based on, and you see the canal network, and based on the canal network and groundwater depth, we have identified that these are the degraded lands. You can see the boundaries, if it is visible, the red, in red color, those all salt affected soils have been identified. The other is identification of salt affected soils with random forest. So what data we have used? We have used Landsat, MODIS, LOS, canal network, groundwater depth, and all we used to identify the salt affected soil. This is for Unnao district. So these are also, this is also published, means ready to publish actually, accepted research. So you can see the degraded land, salt affected soils we have identified. This one is also a published research, and here we have identified, used the three methods: land logistic regression, support vector machine, and random forest to identify the salt affected soil. You can see that here, in case of this area, logistic regression is overestimating the salt affected soils area, but these two are comparable, and this is also matching with the existing reports, but only moderate and highly saline area is identified. Others are slight. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
So, so this SBM and RF is identifying the salt affected soil, but moderate and highly salt affected soils only, not slight. So all this data identified. We have done other things also, like modeling with hyperspectral images, but we are not showing here because those are small areas we have identified. And so all this data are available in the Bhumi Geoportal. I will be showing something in Bhumi Geoportal itself. So all this data is available there. This is for soil erosion. This is for that harmonized data of sort of degraded land, and all this new method what we have done is available for some part of India. And this is also a part of this some 27 districts, special districts we have developed. This is also a part of this Champions of State dashboard of Niti Aayog. So I will be showing some things in here. See Bhumi Geoportal, and if you are going to land degradation, you will find three types of there. One is soil erosion. So this is the soil erosion map. Is it visible, this map?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir. Visible, sir.
उनको unmute करो, जो moderator.
So now you see, if I want only the extremely severe, so you can identify these are only extremely severe data. Similarly, moderate only. So these are all moderately means eroded area, and this threshold is 10 to 15 ton per hectare. So moderately severe. Okay. You can see these are the moderately severe areas, eroded area, and then severe. So these are all severely eroded area. Okay. So similarly, if you can go, if you go to harmonization of data, you see like acid soil under water erosion. So these are of area. These are all acid soil under water erosion. This is in Chhattisgarh. Similarly, like saline soil under like waterlogged area. See, these are all waterlogged area. These are all waterlogged area. So similarly, you can go to degradation. So many are available. You see. So here not only the rasterized area is there. So these are green area is degraded land, and the red area is not degraded. It's prime land for agriculture. You can tell it. Okay. Other things are also like you can go to a special district and then identify the degraded land. Degraded यहाँ नहीं है, हटा दिया क्या? Okay, I think some problem is there. So now we can now. So now we can conclude it that what we need a objective method, robust method to identify soil land degradation, and it should be quantitative and reproducible. Anyone can again reproduce it to make a map it, so that it will be easier to monitor. And it should be a definition should be one quantitative definition. That's how we have told that if the land is continuously in lower productive, means continuously low NDVI is there, so that will be a degraded land. So we need an objective method, very quantitative method, robust and reproducible method to identify land degradation, and machine learning tools can help in a very large way that we can use. But like we have used that time series analysis in this. Then other methods of random forest support vector machine, these can be used prominently in this identifying this degraded land and for monitoring it. Thank you.